see if anyone's here. Start unwrapping with our IDs. Shouldn't be too difficult. A drawing tab left. I gotta fix my chat. It's weird. Alright, I can see now, Babish. Can you hear me now? Is this any better? Any better? Okay, cool. Should have done this in the other stream, but I'm just unwrapping things right now and marking things as seams. I'm not too concerned about creating accurate seams, or not accurate seams, but efficient seams. Generally efficient seams, at least seams that would be considered efficient, because I just need to make sure that I have enough island space for hand painting. Don't need to worry about stretching. We don't really need to worry about stretching. And we're definitely not preparing this for any baking. So this shouldn't take too long, but it might take a bit. Who knows? I'm kind of just moving based on where I think that different materials would be. Um, since I'm not going to use layers, I don't really feel like it would be beneficial to go through setting layers up, at least not for this video. As actually, you know what? I think I'm going to use layers. I'll do a quick demonstration for how that works soon. Right now, let's just finish unwrapping. We'll call that done. And marking things as seams. Yeah, I tried to keep it pretty low. Well, low enough, I should say. But 6K tries is a decent bit. Got some weirdness going on there. There we go. Weird. Hey, Lyrics. Good to see you. Almost done. I think we're gonna get rid of this seam there and keep it as it is. Let's unwrap. Okay, got a few more things we need to take care of. I like that box here. See if I can find it. Right down there. Hello, Imperium. I get rid of that. Those right here. Actually, I'll keep them. These are definitely not the best UVs, but I really just want to get started with hand painting. So it probably, like, we probably won't be able to edit the textures, the colors of this. Um, but I suppose that's the price we pay for swiftness and speed. I'll be right back. I'm back, and thank you very much. Um, I'm gonna start getting started with hand painting. Let me just plug in my tablet. We'll be on the way. Don't know how this is going to work. I hope it works, but it may blow up in our faces, and we may have just spent countless hours struggling. If my tablet would plug in, that'd be great. Alright, cool. Okay, we're gonna be using an add-on for Blender called Yuku Paint or UCU Paint, whatever. Don't know how to pronounce it. Uh, you download it through GitHub, I think, and then you import it into Blender. Assuming you already have done that, I'll walk you through a quick setup of it. Then we'll get started with hand painting. Then I'm gonna give her a sort of material. I hate HDMI cables, man. It's like it's constantly cutting out. Like every time I shift my computer slightly, my monitor cuts out. It drives me insane. Okay. The sword, and we're gonna link the materials. How do you think? I think I actually already linked them. Okay, for the Yuku Paint setup, we'll just click on Quick Node Setup. Disable all the other channels and just set the type to principled. We can keep it at principled. Color. Set OK. Cool. You can change what the color looks like. So we'll go into the layers tab and I'll just add a new image and we'll call this, we want to paint the metal bits first. So with layers we can actually edit stuff. We can do 2K since this isn't going to be for a game or anything. I'll just do main metal. Cool. With this add-on enabled, we can't see the model in the solid mode for shading. We have to go into our material preview. It may look a bit weird though, depending on what it is you're doing. So we can just make sure we are setting our render pass to diffuse color. By default, yours is probably set to something like this. But for this add-on, we just set it to diffuse color and we get a very flat shaded model. And it looks just like it would look in flat shading mode in solid viewport shading mode. So with that setup, we can literally just get started with painting now. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my mic to the side just so I can actually like reach my drawing tablet, it's in a really weird position. Like I have my computer, then I have my drawing tablet, then I have my mic, and it's like right in front of my mouth. So like the closer I get to it, just like it just sounds crazy. I don't want to be blasting your ears, so I'm gonna move it to the side. You might not be able to hear me, but I'm not really gonna be talking. I might be talking to myself. But if you have any questions, just type in the chat, and I'll move the mic back. How about that? Put on some good music. I'm not using 3D Coat so everyone can follow along without having to worry about like paid paid software, different UI. Because since Blender's free, everyone uses Blender. But once I get a better feeling of where my audience is at in terms of their capabilities, then I might switch to 3D Coat. What's the idea? Honestly, dude, I say go for it. Um, I'd be, I dig it. I feel like that'd be pretty sick. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. What's up? What's up? Valid. Oh, sick. Um, Anime characters. Not really. No, I don't model anime characters, but I have planned on getting into it. Right now, I'm kind of just trying to build up a following, doing whatever I can. Yeah, actually. I'm in the process of uploading the full video because I recorded the entire process. It's about 13 hours, but and there's no commentary, but I did record the entire thing, so I'm just trying to figure out how to go about processing it and uploading it to YouTube. I'll announce it to the server once it's up for sure. It should be up within the next month. That's my plan. Sick. Uh, until then, though, if you have any questions regarding modeling, whatever, hand painting, whatever it may be, uh, I'm always down to chat. If you have any questions, I'm always here to answer 'em. Windish bow? Windish bow? Probably butchered the pronunciation. If you could put a reference in the reference dump channel of my server, then I will see if I have time to get to it. Hello, Grimoire. Yeah, no problem. If you want like my full attention, just shoot me a DM and I'll hit you after the screen. After the stream, I mean. Nice. We love to see it. We love to see people wanting to become modelers. Yeah, I'd say so. Um, one sec. Let me turn my music down. Wait one second. I'll do tavern music. Um, it's pretty common. I would say it's really decently common for me. I get DMs, I'd say every week I get at least, and this isn't a flex at all. Um, I get at least 7 DMs asking for just people asking me to do something for them. Um, I would get more if I, advertise myself more, but I often don't, uh, because many of the things that people are asking me to do are just things that I'm just not interested in, or they just don't have any money to pay me to do them. So sometimes I'll get people asking me to do things for them, um, because it's good experience. I still get stuff like that. It's just like you can't use that on me anymore. I think I have pretty decent experience enough doing free work because I used to do a lot of free work when I was starting out. Um, but before I go off on a tangent, I do. It's. I would say it's pretty common for me to get asked to do commissions. That's the answer to your question. Nothing else I said was relevant. I'm glad you, I'm glad you think so. Not as much as it was before. I don't really get that many UGC commissions. Um, I mean, I think that sometimes I might. They just don't tell me. Like they'll ask me to model something. They won't tell me that it's for UGC, but I always find out before I give it to them. They always stop. What do you mean? Like they just ghost you or something, or they just stop working on the game? Yeah, I figured that happens all the time. All the time. I'm guilty of it too. It's normal. But when you are already having someone work on the game and then and they're mid project and then you just suddenly pull the plug, I feel like it's your responsibility to offer some sort of compensation for their work. Your responsibility as like the game developer, not the actual worker. I've been getting a lot of anime commissions recently. I think it's because I've been advertising my stylized hand paints a bit more often, and I feel like that's a pretty popular style in the anime communities on Roblox. Very few people know how to actually do it, um, but a lot of people want to do it, which is probably why I'm getting so many DMs from it. And I hate anime commissions. I hate them. I hate them with a burning passion. I make it a habit to not take anime commissions purely because most of the people doing these projects, um, they're very rude. They're very mean, and I don't have to I don't have to endure that. And they forget I have clients who are paying me much more than what you're paying me, and you're already giving me some attitude. Like, no, no, that's not how this works. I treat my clients how I want them to treat me. I treat them respectfully, professionally, and if they feel like they are within their rights to mouth off at me or be rude, then I just drop them. I give them warnings, but like you need me to work for you. You haven't even paid me yet, so you have no room to act the way you are. Yeah, I definitely agree, Grimoire. I try to stay away from it. Um, there's a lot of money to be made. There's a very big gold mine in there, but I don't really need it. This isn't to say I'm well off. I'm not. Trust me on that. But I'm not going to there's no real reason for me to have to just endure rude people on Roblox. Like this is on Roblox. If this was at like Blizzard or something, I'd be fine. I'd learn how to deal with it. But you're on Roblox. You're doing anime development on Roblox. You have no room to be mouthing off to me or being arrogant. Like cut that out. So yeah, I kind of just take commissions outside of the anime community wherever I can, and that's how I make my money. And right now, I'm saving up to hire developers for a project I'm working on for a game. So that's going decently slow, but I'm still making progress. Let's get some other colors going. Actually, no, I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna get the main metal pieces done first, then we'll hit the other colors. That armor that you were talking about, that would count as progress that I probably shared too early, but I'll keep doing that. I'm just posting little snippets of things that I plan to include in the game. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that armor will be in one of the games. Thank you. 13 hours. Took me 13 hours to make. Over the course of about 6 days. I don't know. It took a long time. Very long time. Oh shoot. In Robux, oh man, I definitely would not charge Robux for that armor set. Upwards of $400 for sure. Definitely upwards of $400. Or, maybe the Robux equivalent. But I definitely would prefer it be in USD. Yeah, this stuff can get expensive. I would say though, I'm charging less. I'd be charging less than what industry professionals charge for stuff like this. I feel like this sword itself would cost upwards of a few thousand. But on Roblox, I'd probably adjust that to 200 or something. I don't know. That was a ballpark price, so definitely don't take my word for it, but it would be pretty expensive. That much I know for sure. I can't- Yeah, no, absolutely. There's no shame in doing it for the money. No shame in that. But it definitely would help your image and how much money you make if you are also passionate about it. But in today's world, doing it for the money is kind of seen as what you got to do sometimes. Now, I'm kind of doing it for the money, but I also really like doing this stuff. But I also have to make money off of it so I can keep doing more stuff like it sustainably. And I really want to get enough money to hire the developers for the game. So that's my main goal right now. Definitely not spending it on a watch in real life. Even if I have excess, it's all going towards the game and more development. I'm also going to see about courses soon, free courses. I don't really like to charge people things. Yeah, Roblox has a pretty bad stigma for like just being a laughing stock of game development. Um, but I would say that it's pretty decent. It's a really good start. It's a really good start. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Roblox is a really good start. Yeah, the engine could use some work. Um, the a lot of the people on Roblox could use some work, but people like it's just it's a really good safe way to prepare yourself for like working in actual industry in AAA studios, stuff like that. Going off on your own even. Um if you script on Roblox, chances are you're going to be really really well prepared for programming in other games or in Unreal or in Unity, whatever it may be. If you model on Roblox, chances are if you keep chipping away at it like I've been doing, you're going to be pretty prepared for modeling in industry. So it's like Roblox is like the training wheels, but you can also make a bunch of money off of these training wheels, which is a really, I would say that's a really weird analogy, but it's, you understand. It's good. It's a really good way to set yourself up for whatever you want to do in terms of game development. Gosh, all these like small parts are driving me crazy because I just have to keep on selecting them and individually coloring them. It's such a tedious process. Painful, painful, accurate description. It's just painful. It puts the pain in painting. That was a good one. I expect laughing. You don't have to laugh in chat, but I expect that you laugh in real life. Laugh out loud, as they say. LOL, colloquially. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Tips, nothing specific really. For just general improvement, and this is going to sound really cliche, but keep trying and keep applying yourself and keep trying new things. And you will see growth eventually, inevitably, you will see growth. But you really do have to keep sticking to it. And that's easier to say than done. And I acknowledge that. I struggle with consistency as well. But if you can acknowledge that you continuously doing something and doing it intentionally too, you can't just keep throwing yourself at something um, poorly by making mistakes and expecting improvement. You have to be intentional about it, intentional about your application of techniques, intentional about you wanting to learn more, then you'll see improvement. But it's easier said than done. I get it. But that's the basic gist of it. Just keep trying. Try new things. Get out of your comfort zone, especially. Don't just stay in one sort of area. Like if you're doing hard surface modeling and you want to try to, expand off of that, try fusing hard surface modeling with low poly or with organic modeling, stuff like that. Branch out and explore. With Yuku Paint or UC Paint, I'm going to stop trying to bother to pronounce it correctly. I'm just going to call it Yuku Paint. Um, when you save your Blender file, it automatically saves the images to your computer. On Blender, you have to manually save the images so that they don't just disappear. But with this add-on enabled, it's a lot more intuitive and a lot safer because just recently, someone I was trying to help with hand painting cloth, he like finished his little project and then he closed Blender, not knowing he had to save this image. And by the time he opened it again, it was gone. All of his progress just gone. And I felt his pain because it's happened to me on multiple occasions. I would say yes, definitely worth getting Blender add-ons. The main ones I use are called Loop Tools and F2. I'll type them in chat. Mods or add-ons? Is there a difference? I always thought they were used; those two words were used interchangeably. I could be wrong. Yeah. So add-ons definitely are worth it. Do your research though. Like figure out which ones that you think you'd like. That's a smooth one. That was smooth. That was too smooth, I would say. Something hard's coming up next. Jeez, I can't send it when it's just flips back to it. All right, we want to get um let this. Yeah, we'll get that. This little piece right there. Let me move to a different part so we don't have any light getting in the way. Okay, let's see what we can do. To hit that. I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft lately, and I've been getting really, really inspired by their art, but I found that their story is losing me. Um, I'm gonna avoid any spoilers for what's happening right now, but our character in World of Warcraft is, by many definitions, a demigod. Like our character is just insanely powerful. We can kill pretty much anything, anyone, take down whatever villain is threatening the world with relative ease. We've done crazy things. Our characters have taken down entire gods, subjugated titans. Um, and yeah, our feats are something to remember. So tell me why. I'm playing the game, and a cutscene strikes, and we figure out that there's a traitor in our midst, and this traitor has henchmen, footmen working for them. So tell me why the footman with a stone hammer takes 5 business days to land a hit on my character, and my character just stands there and takes it and gets knocked out and sent to prison. Like, how does that work? How does a random footman with a stone mallet, knock out my god slaying legendary character? Like that, like, make it make sense. And that's the type of stuff that gets me like to just drop the game for a pretty hot minute. Like, I don't I'm not touching World of Warcraft for some time after that. Like that made me mad. Like I was genuinely upset. Like what is going on? What is going on? This isn't the first time it's happened in the game either. Like there's been many occasions where it's just been like my character dying was just for the plot. My character not dying. My character getting defeated was just for the plot. It drives me insane. It drives me insane. Just thought I'd share that story. All right. Take care. Good luck with whatever it is you're doing. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's pretty fun, I would say. I really do like this story. This was just one part of it that didn't really sit that well with me. But generally speaking, it's a really good story. Really cool characters. It's also what I'm sort of basing my game off of. Not necessarily the world building aspect or the narrative, but in terms of the style, I'm definitely taking inspiration from WoW with going the stylized route. And I also want to try to create that like warm, cozy, homely feel that we get in WoW, like the cozy corners of Azeroth. I want there to be cozy corners of my world too. I'm definitely not going to be taking any more inspiration than that from WoW. They can have their own thing because I have my plans that very much do not align with theirs. But yeah, it's a really good reference point for what I want to do. Uh, What else do we have? We've got that little teardrop shape, and then those spikes on the side, and then we have the outer inner blade. I should say inner blade, and then the pommel. Okay, we're on good time. We're an hour and 30 minutes in. I think we're an hour into hand painting itself, so we are doing okay. Let's get on to business. All right, good night. Thank you for watching. Dream good dreams. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be sure to stream more often, whenever I can, at least. I should actually go to sleep soon too. It's like 12. I usually stay up later, but I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. So far, it's working half the time. Thank you very much, Target. It's good to see you again. I remember you from the last stream. Oh, nice. Very nice. That's awesome. Yeah, if you have any questions about what exactly I'm doing, don't be afraid to ask. I'm always here to help. But I'm very happy that you're using something that I created, something that's unique to me, I'd say, to help you out. I'm just rambling at this point. I hope that my workflow is useful to you. Glad you think I'm a professional. I believe I'm far from it. I have a long way to go. But if I can make Target think that I'm a professional, I think there are really, really, really bright horizons on my future. Or bright, oh my gosh, you know what I mean. I can't make sense right now. I'm delirious. I don't really like Substance Painter that much. Um, I tried it out, wasn't a huge fan. I know I could probably configure it to be better, but I just figured I'd stick with Blender. Yeah, I use a pen tablet. I'm using a Huion actually, not a Wacom. Wacom, 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 whatever. It's a Huion Inspiroy. Big tablet, big tablet. A lot better than a mouse. I actually used to do all of my hand painting with a mouse. Fun fact, not worth it. Really don't recommend it. It's painful. And I used to be under the impression that that's how all the professionals did it. They used mouses to make their stylized designs. And so I thought it was just a matter of time when I would one day be a professional. Nah, nah, it's just because I was using a mouse. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible habit of mine. And for precision as well. Pen tablet, drawing tablets, and styluses. They're very good for precision. Why can't I say it? Oh my gosh, precision. They're very good for precision. Much better than a mouse is. Okay, first spike done. Next spike on the way. Me too. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was surprised that it's actually coming together this fast. I think I've been working with metals for a very long time, so it's become sort of muscle memory to me regarding like what steps I need to take to get to a decent point quickly. But starting out, oh man, something like this, getting here would have taken me like 3 hours. Right now, it's only taking me about an hour and a half, which is very good progress, very good improvement. What's going on? Are you kidding? Yeah, yeah. This is my reference image right here. Just to get a good idea of the color, the highlights, and then I just kind of go do my own stylized twist. I really need to get to the habit of drawing my own references. So I'm about to take a quick little intro course on how Photoshop works, so I can start doing that. Because I have no idea how to use Photoshop for drawing. But as an artist, it's a very, very important skill. Clip Studio Paint? Oh, yeah. I've heard good things about Clip Studio. Yeah. I know Photoshop is more industry standard. So I figured I'd get into the habit of using actual industry standard software. Um, I'm trying to draw my own concepts and just uh, references for modeling, for stylized hand painting, whatever it may be. I also want to get into environmental design for Roblox. So I'm working on a project idea, and I'm going to be needing to draft up some environment concepts. It's all going to be stylized, so everything in the environment's going to be hand painted. But in order to do that efficiently, I need to figure out what the environment's going to look like before I start working on it. And I feel like Photoshop being an issue, I know I could do it in like Krita or something, but just figured I'd use Photoshop for it. Again, I'm rambling. I'm planning on using Photoshop for a lot of things, from drawing concept images, references, um, to yeah, not just concept images and references. Really, that's really it. It's something crazy. Sort of, yeah, yeah. I want to have concept art for my games, so I will likely be coloring it too, just to create like a art album. But generally speaking, they will just kind of be like colorless sketches. Yeah, Photoshop's really customizable to your workflow. You can really do a lot of things with it. I mean, like it's not really any different. Like you go into texture painting, like you have your viewport here, and you have the UV space here. But in layout, you just have the viewport. You can also even make your own UV space on the side. So it's like identical now. These tabs right here are just kind of like like pre-set up. So you can change, you can configure them however you want. It's got everything you need. Layout is where the true experts paint. If you're not painting in layout, then what are you doing, man? Painting in, like, are you texture painting in the texture painting tab? Are you out of your mind? Insane. I could never. Sorry if I'm like whispering and really quiet. My parents are asleep. And I always stream at the worst possible hours. Yeah, it's odd. It's odd. It's very odd. 5 a.m. and you're watching you're watching me hand paint. I'm like I'm inclined to just say go to bed. Oh man. Take your sanity, save your sanity, and go to bed. I mean, thanks for watching though. Your viewership is very much appreciated. But go to bed. Like, wow. Okay, we're almost done with the purple metal. Thank you very much. I'm working towards it. We're working towards it. Okay. This is a fire comment. What's up, Lucifer? Good to see you. Um, Commissions? Yeah, I do commissions. Depends though. Like I'm pretty selective about it. Um, and as for dev forum, I don't I don't have I don't have like the permissions to do anything on dev forum right now. I can only read stuff and interact. I never really bothered to try to change that. I probably should have, but it's whatever. It's tavern music. It's tavern, and it's good. It means I have taste. If you disagree with me, then what does that say about you? Exactly, that you don't have taste. It's from World of Warcraft. I'm not gonna take that. But you know what? I'll let you have this. Nah, too many tries. And I'm really not trying to optimize it for UGC either. Indeed, got that right. Gonna hide that. Roblox staff doesn't need to, because Roblox staff doesn't really care. Gonna be honest. Like there's no incentive for them to be putting in their all. And I bet they could. The developers behind Roblox, especially in their 3D modeling department, like they're not just like run of the mill artists. Like they all know what they're doing. But it's a matter of how much you're being paid for it. And all other things too. I doubt the culture at Roblox is very art artsy. I should say. I'll take the compliment though. Appreciate it. I'm sure it's on Pinterest. I got it from a Discord server. It's for a modeling challenge hosted by someone named Pyro. Yeah, it's from Pyro. And the prize was being added to a Discord server where I can find commissions easier. So I joined it just to see what it was about, and I was automatically added to it. So like there's no point in even completing this anymore. Um yeah, MHQ. So I'm not gonna submit this. No, I already got in. Like I didn't even have to do anything. It just let me in. I'm not gonna submit it. It just wouldn't really make sense. I'm not gonna try to rob someone of an opportunity either. I don't think I'd be submitting it either way, even if I didn't get in automatically. Because and this isn't like a flex or anything, but hand painting is a very, very good looking style. Stylized hand painting is very good looking. And who else is doing this right now? Like who else is hand painting a sword in that server? This isn't to say that they're not capable of it, but really, like you're hand painting that? Like why? That's kind of the sentiment. I'm not trying to show up and show out. I just want to show up. That is to say, this may not even look that good in the end. So, who knows? If any, like, if, dude, I'm telling you, like, if the other people, like, actually dedicated time to this stuff and really, like, went all out with hand painting, just not even that much, just a little bit, just a little bit, they could do so much. Like, just craziness. Like, it would be crazy because they'd all be good. You know, it definitely takes a long time. You have to have a special kind of mind, and by mind I mean you have to really like World of Warcraft. Use it as fuel and passion for you. That's what I do, genuinely. But yeah, I really do. Like, if you are interested in hand painting, you're just not really consistent with it. I really do recommend trying to get consistent with it. Yeah, I guess so. I don't care about that stuff though. Like, it really doesn't matter. I hate anime devs. Not all of them. I hate the general community, and I'm not trying to get involved in that. I make my money elsewhere on Roblox. I'm happy. Yeah, pretty much every day, or almost every day at least. Hands down the easiest path, I know. I know that all too well. I don't hate the community, but I don't like the culture within it. And I guess it's because there's so many people in it. But like it's just very mean, very rude, very arrogant, very toxic. Not for me. Engons, it depends if you're trying to import something into Unity. than Ngons are. Ngons will probably prevent the model from actually importing. So yeah, in that case, they're pretty bad. But generally speaking, like if you're just using it for like a render or maybe even an animation, depending on how complex the animation is or the joints, no, they're not like inherently bad. I know there's a really bad stigma against anything that isn't a quad, but it's natural geometry. Yeah, there are standards. Like if you're working in industry, then you kind of have to adhere to standards. But on your own, do whatever you can. Be intentional though. Like don't be aiming to make a complete model out of Ngons. Just for the sake of your own improvement. I'm not that great with modeling with the subsurface on, but generally you want to make sure your topology and your geometry is supported by one another. You don't really want to have like too many loose vertices like you would in an Ngon. It's just not really the best practice, especially for objects that bend a lot and curve a lot. Definitely going to be a problem. I recommend trying your best to stick with quads or triangles. Ngons can work. They can work with subdivision or subsurface. But generally speaking, you're better off with using conventional geometrical techniques. Does texture painting in edit mode not hinder your vision? I wouldn't be texturing in edit mode. No, not really. This isn't edit mode, it's just wireframe view. I'm putting on the wireframe in overlays. It just helps me identify where edges are and stuff. But I do turn it off when it does get to a point where it would, block my vision. You're good. I appreciate the questions. I'm about to make another sword after this one. It's like got feathers on it. Pyro made it a year ago. Dude, it's it's fine. I'm not getting distracted. Like this is I can tune. This isn't something that requires immense focus. Yeah. So I'm making that sword and I'm gonna hand paint it too. Recorded the entire thing. For programming, I definitely understand. This is just painting though. I mean, you do have to be intentional. But I guess because I'm kind of used to doing all this stuff, it's just like muscle memory and I can, you know, switch between chats. If I was making something like wood though, oh man, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, you would not be hearing from me. I'd be locked in, laser focused, because I suck at wood. So I'm always sweating whenever I try wood because nothing works. It's like the worst. It's the worst feeling ever. Like when nothing that you're doing works when hand painting to make it look better. Oh, it sucks. It sucks so bad. And that's me with wood. Pretty often. For now, at least. Dude, I got ZBrush recently. And I started making something. I kind of gave up. Because I'm not trying to go through like the retopologizing process. I'm just not. I didn't even get to that point and I'm already giving up. You uncooked. That's how it is, though. It really is how it is. That's how it do be. It's a hard life. It's a hard life, and it's unfair. Totally unfair. Retopology is when you're manually, um, oftentimes manually, modeling over a high poly sculpt. So if you sculpted like a head, to retopologize it, you would be modeling over the head to create a lower poly version of that head. What I don't understand though, and this could just be from a lack of experience, why not create a low poly model, duplicate that low poly model, sculpt on the duplicate, and then bake the sculpt onto the low poly model? Wait, sorry, no, that's not what I meant. Why not? Why not? Why not sculpt something and then duplicate the sculpt and then remesh the sculpt into a lower poly version and then bake the high poly sculpt onto the remeshed sculpt and then go over the geometry to make sure it's limited to the dimensions of the low poly model you created. You're limited to the problem with that. The problem with that is that you're limited to dimensions. That's how you sound right now. Let me nerd react this man. Let me nerd react him. There we go. Okay. Jokes aside, that's valid. Okay, I get it. Thank you for explaining, Lucifer. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because when you say you're garbage, then it just makes it makes it seem like you're just always garbage. But you're not. You're not. You're gonna get better. It's like the law of life. If you just keep doing it consistently and intentionally, then you're gonna get better. You're not garbage. You're just learning, my friend. Learning. As we all were once. Say it. I want you to say it yourself. I'm not garbage. I'm learning. And you need to repeat that 20 times. Not in the chat. On your wall. You have to write it on your wall. What? No way. Crazy. Batman. No way. Oh my gosh. No way. If you can't tell, I'm shocked. I don't usually show emotion that much. I'm a, I'm a, excuse me. I'm stoic. I'm stoic, man. No, it's not your bad. It's our bad because we're in this together. You sure it's not just me? Because my Wi-Fi is not the strongest. Okay, no, that's valid. It's completely valid. Um, do you have a stylus and a drawing tablet? Okay, then I'm assuming that by extension you also have a stylus. Um, in terms of getting started, best thing to do to get started is to get started. A style, like a drawing pen. That's what they're called. Stylus. Okay. Thanks, Lucifer. Thanks for popping by. Always a pleasure. And do I watch tutorials of sharp modeling? Because I have so many concept arts I want to model, but I can't even make a good model that when I UV wrap, it's not clustered. I would watch a tutorial. Um, when I started modeling, I was a mess. I didn't really know what didn't know what tutorials for Blender were. Like I didn't think to even look one up. I just started like just doing random stuff. And it didn't work. So I ended up looking at a tutorial and all of my questions and worries were answered. So a tutorial is really good to get your feet into the water. Uh, I don't recommend learning solely off of tutorials. You do need to go off on your own and try your own things and develop your own style and techniques and workflows and all that stuff. Don't just leech off of another artist's. Not for any like ethical reasons or anything, but because it's not the most conducive to your success. Um, but generally, I do recommend watching tutorials to get started. Reading Blender's documentation and their manual also really helps. It depends. I mean, if you want to do the donut tutorial, I'm not going to stop you. I don't think the donut tutorial is really good for hard surface modeling, though. Like hard surface modeling is anything that's like a solid object, like headphones, computer, maybe a sword, a gun. That would be hard surface modeling. And the donut tutorial is not the best for that. It's a good introduction to Blender, though, I will say. Um, in terms of tutorials, are you in? Are you a Roblox developer? Dosplay, Dosplay. Okay. Are you in the Discord server for hidden devs? All right, great. In the modeling channel for hidden devs, there are a bunch of tutorials that are pinned, and each one of them is pretty much catered towards modeling that's effective for a Roblox developer. So I'd recommend watching some of it. You don't need to watch all of them, but watch as many of them as you want until you get a decent understanding of it to, go off on your own. But the pinned messages and hidden devs in the modeling channel, that's the first place you should start. I'll also just repost that stuff in my server too. Where did I learn texturing from? This guy named Zug. I he has courses that you can buy. I didn't buy any. I just looked at his work. He also recorded himself making like a shovel one time, and okay, I'm gonna copy the shovel and see what I can do with that. I did pretty decently enough. That was my first really official hand paint, but I just looked at what he was doing, tried to copy what he was doing, and then developed my own style from there. And how I improved, I just looked at other people's um, creations and their designs, looked at what their brush stroke must have been like, and tried to replicate it to the best of my ability. And that's how I improved. Yeah, Zug art. No problem. I genuinely, I really appreciate the questions. So please keep asking them if you feel like you need to. No problem at all. Not really. I don't really use Substance that much anymore. If I'm doing PBR texturing, like realistic textures, then yeah, I'll use Substance. But for hand painting stuff, I'll just stick with Blender. Yeah, Zug is really good. He's got 17 years of experience too. The dude's a beast. One of his models is in World of Warcraft as well, which is like a rite of passage for a stylized hand painter. Really cool stuff. I started modeling um in 2020, 2021. I got grounded because I wasn't doing my math homework. And I just asked my dad if I could learn Blender instead of playing games, and that was that was that's that's the story of my life basically. Ended up that Blender ended up being more of a distraction from schoolwork than my games were. So take that as you will. I don't recommend getting grounded. I got started. Um, and I started hand painting about a year ago, I'd say. Yeesh, that is how it be. It do be like that. Good luck on the finals. I hope it's not crazy late for you right now. Because if it is, then you really gotta get to sleep. I know what it's like to take a final on a very, very tired mind. Yeah, no, that's a completely valid feeling. This stuff does take a lot of time, but you also have other things that you need to do. So it can be really difficult to find the balance. That's totally valid. It happens to everyone. Yeah, Sauron's mace. Thank you. Thank you. I was actually feeling pretty bad about it. It wasn't I didn't think it was like my best work. I also made it after like taking a pretty long break from hand painting. So that was like my first attempt at it again, and I wasn't a huge fan. But I'm really glad that you liked it. Yeah, no, I'm really big on Lord of the Rings. That's one of my most treasured franchises. Good question. I didn't really find much of a balance. Starting out, I when I was starting modeling, I struggled a lot to um I don't know if you sent a message in the chat. Are you able to do that? Like I don't know if you sent like an image. I'm not sure you're able to do that though. Um I had a hard time balancing school, high school, and um I was talking to Target about that. High school, work, and modeling. So I would constantly be going back to just like grinding every single day, working on games, working on models, sacrificing a lot of my academic achievement for modeling. Now, you know, it did have its benefits. I wouldn't say like it was completely futile. Um, but looking back, like I definitely could have done better in high school than I did if I had just, you know, managed my time a bit more, a bit better, I should say. So, in terms of how I found the balance, I didn't really find a balance. I was struggling. But now I'm doing a lot better though. A lot better. Like my performance completely flipped, which I'm really proud of myself for. Um and I no longer really have to spend so much time trying to master my craft because I've already kind of gotten to a good spot. So I can kind of just, you know, it's like smooth sailing from here. And maybe it was for a reason. I didn't fail or anything, but I got close to it. Well, I get that. I really do. Tutorial hell, tutorial hell. That is a real place, and it's a scary one too. It's so real. I guess that's why they call it tutorial hell. Maybe not tutorial heaven. It wouldn't really make sense. Yeah, VFX. I tried to teach myself how to do it. I couldn't. I couldn't. I mean, I bet I could. Anyone can if they spend enough time doing it. So I could, but I just did. I really didn't feel like doing that, man. Like, it wasn't what it wasn't fun to me. Yeah, animation's pretty rough for me too. That's something I just can't really do. And like, what kind of scary things are they saying about modeling? This is starting to look pretty rough. I'm not sure what's going on. Might be the weird color in the middle. Give me just 1 second. I need to stretch. I'm back. So many workflows. Yeah, there's a lot. I really encourage you not to get so overwhelmed. Wait, sorry. Target. I'll answer your question in just a sec for the reference. But try tried hard to respond in the same reference heart for 50 times and I memorize everything. Like, try to pace yourself. We can talk more about this on Discord too, but try to pace yourself. Don't try to jump ahead to retopologizing after a high poly mesh, um, or debugging bad UV unwraps. Don't worry about that stuff, man. Start simple. Get a good understanding of modeling first, and then move on to that stuff when you feel comfortable. But jumping right into that just head first, it's gonna make you more confused than not. It happened to me, and I've made it my my priority to make sure it doesn't happen to other people too. Tutorial hell, that's what it is, and it's a real place because you start learning about things that are way too beyond your purview. They're way far ahead of your skill level and your expertise, and it just becomes confusing. And it's natural to do that too. That's a completely natural part of the process, but it doesn't have to happen. and you can move away from it. So I recommend not forgetting everything you know, ever forgetting everything you've learned, forgetting everything that's making you confused. Keep it in the back of your head, but try to approach this from the perspective of a beginner. Again, a noob, someone who's never touched Blender. Go to the Hidden Dev modeling channel, look at their pinned resources, look at their pinned videos, and try one out. And then see if you can really understand the stuff that they're doing. Because you've already been exposed to things that are more advanced than what you currently understand. Like you're being exposed to these really crazy, advanced, complex concepts, but you have no idea what they're about. When you actually hear them, when you hear about them in these videos, then it'll make a bit more sense to you. And if it doesn't, that's fine. But it'll at least be, oh, I've heard about that. I'm going to pay extra attention to this because I already have a basic understanding of it. I already know a little bit about it. So this video might help me reinforce that knowledge. But I just encourage you to just take a step back, a big step back, and try to attack this from the perspective of a beginner. You're lost right now. You're confused. Everything's overwhelming you. And that's fine. Just take a breath and start from scratch. Start from the ground up. And if that doesn't work, and if you don't know where to start, my DMs are always open. I'm happy to help whenever. Now, as for how I got that reference image in the corner, by default, this right corner will show the outliner for your objects. If you go to the top left-hand side where it has a little tree, you can just select Image Editor and then pull up an image. And I have my reference image over here. You can do painting so that we can color pick. Let me see if it works. Oh my gosh, why isn't it working? There we go. Now we can color pick. And then voila. Disgusting, but it's whatever. Give me just a second. Back again. Yeah, I'll add you. Let me just shoot you a friend request right now. All right, and I'll DM you in just a sec once the stream ends. Let me find a better reference for the material here, because I'm noticing that like the blade is a bit flat. It doesn't need to be flat. we can find a better reference. I'm gonna look up stylized sword. That's really all we need to do. See, this looks fine. All right, I think I got a decent idea of what we want to do. They made any difference, but it's whatever. This looks fine. I'm gonna change the music. It's kind of getting a bit repetitive, although I do love it. It just makes me tired. This is more me looking for good music than it is hand painting. Oh no, not good, not good. Almost there. I'm back. Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and have a great night. Thank you very much. The support definitely does help. See ya. Good question. Um, I wasn't necessarily a hardcore gamer, but I did play games a lot. I wasn't addicted or anything. Maybe I was. I don't know. I could set them down for multiple days if I wanted to. I could set them down forever if I wanted to, actually. But I have set them down for a very long time. But um, shifting my priorities, I began to realize that while learning Blender, while I was grounded, there are more opportunities for me to be happier making the things that I enjoy in the games. So I really like when I was playing World of Warcraft or games like Star Wars: The Old Republic. I was really big on MMOs. Um, I couldn't help but wonder how they were making all of these awesome models, and it just constantly like just baffled me how they did it, and just like I never understood. Then when I picked up modeling, it all kind of started to make sense. Like, oh my gosh, this is how they did everything that they do. This is how they do everything that they do. And so it kind of was like a bit of a wake up call. Like, I can either keep spending my days just doing nothing but nothing productive, but playing games, or I could, learn how people make this stuff in games and start making games that I would want to play on my own, that I've always wanted to play. So I guess that's kind of how my priorities shifted from gaming to learning how to make games through the avenues that are provided by modeling. True hero story. Sure, I guess, yeah. Well, let's call me the hero. This is my hero arc. That's a great question. Um, one of the biggest ones was the community that I was involved in. Just constant toxicity, and it was operating under the guise like of breeding improvements. Like they would be mean, rude, nasty to me and my designs, my beginner designs, under the pretense of trying to foster improvement. Some of them were just jerks. Like they didn't really hide it. They didn't care about how it affected me. And that you're gonna encounter people like that everywhere. Um, but that was one of the biggest things that really did kind of sting. Like, why are you attacking me when I'm like I have little to no experience? Like are you expecting me to make something amazing? Because like the way you're talking to me makes it sound like you are. Um, so it didn't necessarily make me stop modeling, but I did take breaks from it because of that. I was just kind of discouraged. Like if this is how if yeah, hidden devs is big on that. Um, I make it a habit to like flame the people who are flaming other people. Like if someone's like genuinely asking for help, I'll help them out. Like I can't not try to help someone out. But if like someone's asking for help and getting flamed for it, then I flame the flamers. Basically, I fight fire with fire. I'm in the chat rooms being a keyboard warrior to the keyboard warriors. But yeah. So it just got me really discouraged for a bit. Um, so I started doing modeling like in more closed environments, like with my friends, or not with my friends, but like I would be working with my friends on a project, and I'd be the modeler. They'd be like the group leader or something, or the manager, or whatever. It was nice. It was nice doing that, and that's how I got most. That's how I like improved the most. Because I really, I'm fearful of the type of artist I would have become if I had remained in those toxic communities. Like, I definitely would have given into that ideology where you have to be mean to people who are just trying to improve, mean or aggressive. And you don't. It's really just a pathetic excuse to just take out your own insecurities on other people. Or if you were brought up like that, then you might have the expectation that other people are expected to have that same thick skin that you have. That's not how humans work. It's not. And it's unrealistic to assume that, and it's rude of you to continue acting like that. It's inconsiderate. And yeah, it does matter. Um, so I've been trying to make it a point to encourage more productive, constructive, and empathetic feedback on people's designs. Oh my gosh, why is the music like peaking right now? I've been trying to make it a point to encourage more, like, kinder uh, messages when it comes to giving people feedback on their designs. Like, don't call them out their name. Don't say, like, this just looks trash, do better. Don't do stuff like that. And don't be aggressive. There's no need to be aggressive. Like, you can be kind. I'm rambling. I always ramble. Um, that was one of that was one of the challenges I faced. People just being mean for no reason, other than just because it's either all that they know or they're just trying to take their insecurities out on you as a new modeler. Um, Another challenge I face, I guess, would be time or lack thereof. I was often put in situations where I did need to prioritize school as much as I dreaded it. So, me being horrible at time management, I didn't know how to balance school and modeling. So, I'd often end up falling behind in either one. If it wasn't modeling, then I was falling behind in school. If I wasn't falling behind in school, then I was falling behind in modeling. Um, I've gotten better at time management, so like that's no longer really a problem. At least not as much as it was then. But yeah, it was rough then. Like that was I was close to failing a few times. My teachers were really, really merciful though, thankfully. Um, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's also imposter syndrome, which is also a really real thing. You just don't feel like you belong. You feel like you're not cut out for this. You're not made for this. There's other people who are just doing way better things than you are. Um, oh my gosh, this music is actually blaringly loud. It's a really good music though, just not for now. Let's see if I can adjust the volume. Okay. Um, where was I? Imposters? I'm not feeling. Yeah. So like this kind of stemmed from people like always posting their wins, but never really posting their failures. And this happens all the time. Like people are always going to post what they did well on, but they're never going to post what they failed on. And this is, it's cool for their ego and whatnot. It builds hype because like who really wants to acknowledge their failures, right? But for the beginner, it might encourage some feeling of, helplessness because like this, I'm trying so hard. I've been trying so hard to do this one thing, and this person all of a sudden does it, and they get so much recognition, so much fame, so much glory for it, and I'm here just in the dust. So what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with them, but it's very easy to think that way when you see all these other people doing things that you've been trying so hard to do. But none of these people are actually posting the sacrifices they had to make and the time it took to actually start doing these things. Um, so I guess me not realizing that was a really big setback for me because I always thought that like I was just not cut out for modeling. Like people are doing crazy things and it seems like they're doing it without breaking a sweat. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Part of the reason that I'm also, trying to record every bit of my um workflow when it comes to making models and painting them too is to just show people like this isn't as easy as some of the people out there make it look. Like you're going to make mistakes constantly, you're going to mess up constantly, and it's going to take a long time constantly, and I try to show that in my videos. It's natural. It's just art. I feel like that's not emphasized enough. Definitely wasn't for me when I was starting out, so I'm kind of trying to save other people from having to go through the stuff that I had to go through when I was starting out modeling. But I'd say those were the three biggest things that kind of stood in my way when I was learning how to model over these past 5 years. There was also procrastination too. Like that's definitely one thing. Um, I just didn't want to spend the time to do some things. Like I just didn't want to do it. I didn't, and I would constantly put it off. Just wait for the right moment, quote unquote, the right moment. There really never really is a right moment. You just kind of have to jump into the fire. I put off hand painting. I put off learning how to hand paint for such a long time. I really regret doing that, but yeah, I just kind of jumped right into it and went from there. They say don't be afraid to take risks. I guess, fear can be a part of it, but it's also just, laziness sometimes. And that's also natural. I use a pen. I used to use a mouse. I really don't recommend using a mouse. I actually strongly, like strongly, as strong as a titan, advise against using a mouse for hand painting. What did the mouse do to me? It made all my stuff look horrible and it made me take forever. That's what it did to me. It screwed me over. I used to think that everyone in the industry actually made all their hand paints with the mouse, and that I just wasn't good enough because I didn't have enough practice with my mouse. But it ended up being because I was using a mouse. So please don't use a mouse. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I never memorize them off the top of my head. They're not bad. It's nothing crazy. Like this isn't like a really, really high end rig. It just I can play World of Warcraft at max graphics. I can play Roblox at max graphics. I can render very well in a pretty short amount of time. I'll post my specs in my Discord server. Yeah, nothing crazy. It's an MSI something something something. It gets the job done. That's good enough for me. But I do, like I do care about the specs. I do. I just don't memorize them. Maybe I should. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. I'm getting really tired. Let me save. So this is what we got so far. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Looking pretty good. Looking like a good starting point for a stylized model. Unplug my drawing tablet and get my setup fixed. So, going through it, looking good. It was nice to have you. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Much appreciated. All right, I'm gonna do a lighting pass and the end. Yeah, definitely head out right now. See you later, and thank you for watching. And good luck on the finals too. Wait, how do I do this? Okay, stream is over. Thank you for everyone who watched. Um, I know a few of you just joined recently. Sorry that I'm ending right now. I'm just getting really tired. But I'll hit up the other parts of it later, probably tomorrow. Discord server is always open though. If you have any questions, my DMs are similarly always open. But aside from that, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later.